So, good morning everyone. What we're going to be doing today is we're in the process of making a coffee table. Just a short little table, it's probably about 18-inch tall, give or take. Steel frame, mould steel frame, and then basically a solid oak top. So the sort of design that we're going for, if I show you here. So what we're going to do, the design that we're sort of going for, obviously it's just going to be a flat top, but the legs, rather than the legs coming down straight, we've done the legs so that they're going to come at 45. Then obviously on this side the leg will come down, but it will be going that way at 45. Got everything cut up, but we've got this. I should have oiled them over the weekend, but I didn't. So we're gonna have to clean them all back off for the wall wheel, get them clamped up, and then we can get everything in the clamp and get it welded. So they're back nice and polished up. We just got rid of all that pitting and that rusting, so they're looking lovely, they're ready to go. So we're going to put the legs to one side and get all the top pieces. We're going to get it all clamped up, look at getting that welded, all polished off, clamped up, and then we'll look at attaching the actual legs to the frame. done. The frame is all thingy, we've just cleaned it up. Legs are all cut. So now literally all we got to do is get these welded on where they're gonna be, which is gonna be something like that, obviously in all four corners. Get them welded on, and then once that's done, we will, well, we then start looking at getting the wood in. And we have actually got the wood. Obviously it's not clean or anything like that at the minute, but this is what we're going to use. It's a lovely bit of oak. So it's solid oak. Obviously it's made up of smaller pieces. I can't remember what they call it. It has got obviously a name, but I can't think for the life of me what it is. It's left over, so we're just going to use that to put in as an infill on this, so that just sits inside the frame. Doesn't sit on top, so you're going to have the outside of the frame and the wood in the middle. So, and then it'll be a flush finish, so it's flush with the top of the metal. Just think it'll make a nice contrast. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get on, like I say, get legs welded on, and then crack on with the old wood. So the frame is complete. Everything's glued up as it should be. So we've literally welded all the way around. Obviously what we'll go do now is just go along and clean up where we can reach. Obviously we're not going to be able to reach inside here, but to be honest, it's it's not exactly a mess in there. We didn't necessarily need to put a weld in there, but we chose to. just polished up the welds on the outside. I'm not too fussed about the inside ones. I'm not cleaning it up necessarily to try and hide anything. I just think that on these, you know, outside faces that obviously you're going to be able to see, even with the table down in place. I just think it gives a much nicer, oh excuse me, finish. Just having polished, it just looks like more finished, I suppose, rather than just kind of welded up and thrown out. So what are we going to do now? So a little bit more polishing up to do, and then we are going to flip her on her side and start getting measured up for obviously the infill. I've got to work out what I'm going to use as little brackets to obviously stick on the inside of the frame, just for the timber to sit on. I did think about using maybe some of these offcuts from cutting the 45s on the steel, you know, sticking them up on the frame like that, welding them in place, and then obviously I can drill down through the plate to fix the board, and that way it just reuses these little scraps rather than them ending up in the bin. The only thing is, I think they might be a bit too big, so by the time basically I have to cut it down, there's not going to be a lot, but we'll see. I'll have a think about that, and yeah, we'll figure something out. But it's just nice to try and reuse offcuts and scrap where we can, save wastage, save money. So framework done. I'll show you just a little bit off one of the legs because it was a little bit of a rock, but she's nice and steady now. So come away from that for a minute. We're going to concentrate on the top. So we've got it marked out. This is the bit we're keeping, this is the bit that's coming off, and then once that's done and that's off, we will then pop it into there, so we'll get it fitting right. Then what we're going to do, because I did mark up on here, I don't know how well you'll pick it up in the light, you can just see this line, so that basically is where the top is going to finish, which with those brackets it only left a real small a tiny little bit that we would have been able to get weld on. So I decided to leave it. We're going to get the top cut out, and then what we're going to do is we'll turn the table upside down on top of the wood, on top of a little welding table, and that way we know the wood is going to be level, flush with the top of the table, which is what we want. And then once we've got that, I'll be able to put the brackets where they need to be, nice and snug, so I can guarantee everything's just in the right place, just so that we haven't got to chop and change. So let's get on with this. I've lined it up by eye. What we'll do now, just to make sure that we are true and square on the board, and we know this distance is right because we've just lined it up. So if you measure that, which is 136, we got here, right, so that is slightly off, so now we'll adjust this then to 136, which that is, double check that in, 6, always measure twice, cut once, that's what Dad always used to say. That's our 136, so now we can plan that in place, and we need to know that basically we can run that saw up against this, we know that that line will be straight, the cut will be as accurate as I can make it, do that way. we've cut some little tabs, fixing tabs that we're going to use to fix the timber top to the actual frame. So we've just made up these little bad boys here. 2 little holes that we're just going to centre on the frame like that. So we've done it on the table so that once it's clamped down, basically the top will sit flush with the frame. So that way either we know when we weld these in place, they're going to be in the right place. And the top is obviously going to fit flush with the frame, which is what we want. So we've got 4 of them. We're just going to go around now, get them waxed on. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this project. Thank you all so much for watching. For anyone who's interested, this will be available in our store. Obviously we'll put a link in the description below. A big thank you to Metals For You for supplying all the steel. None of it was sponsored or affiliated with them in any way, shape or form. Fantastic customer service. Really quick delivery times, you know, you order it one day, it's delivered the next. Huge range of stock. They also do consumables and bits and bobs like that. So again, it's not affiliated, but if anyone's looking for a good online steel or metal stockist, definitely Metals For You. Check them out. Thank you so much for watching.